Hi everyone, it's Andrea Edwards, the digital conversationalist, and I'm hoping we can have a little bit of a heart-to-heart. So everyone's talking about the new normal, or build back better, or it's time to pivot. And most of the time when people use these terms and phrases, I don't even know what they mean. I mean, do you know what they mean? Because the reality is, we can't go back to what we left behind at the beginning of 2020. We just can't. We're out of time. Do you want to know why? Here's some headlines of some of the reports that the scientists have been releasing just in the last few months. The last decade was the hottest decade since records began. In the next 5 years, we are going to reach 1.5 degrees global warming. It's set. And when you think about 1.5 degrees, look at what's going on around the world when we're already at 1. An ecosystem is expected to collapse before 2030. An ecosystem. Now, nobody knows which one, but I can tell you, if the bees are part of it, well, we're all pretty much doomed. Now, any ecosystem collapse is going to result in misery and destitution for millions, if not billions, of people. And that means we're going to have more climate refugees. Now, we're not doing too well with the refugees that are out there in the world at the moment. So think of what millions or billions more is going to look like. When global warming reaches 2 degrees, and we're currently on track for 3 to 4 degrees global warming, but once it reaches 2 degrees, the tropical rainforests can't survive. Now, for all of us living in Asia and in the tropical regions of Asia and around the world, that's not good news, right? Glaciers are melting all over the world too. In fact, we're holding funerals for dead glaciers, which I find devastatingly sad. And many of the glaciers that are melting are irreversible, and the Himalayas is part of that. At the bottom of the Himalayas are billions of people that rely on glacial melt for their farms, for their agriculture, for drinking water, for everything. So this is a really, really critical thing that we have to stop. We can't stop it all, but we have to stop what isn't a certainty. In the Alps at the moment, there's a pink algae, and that's causing more ice to melt as well. So, you know, we're in a pretty bad state when it comes to glacial melt around the world. The South Pole is warming up. The Arctic too. In fact, a town in Siberia earlier in the summer recorded its highest temperature ever, 38 degrees Celsius, well over 20 degrees above normal. And a hotter Arctic, it means the permafrost is going to melt faster. And we have underestimated CO2 emissions from melting permafrost by up to 14%. My friends, the Methane Dragon is awakening. Just that sends a shiver down my spine. It really does frighten the hell out of me. And let's not forget something else that the scientists are predicting, that all Arctic sea ice will be gone by 2035. Not 2100, 2035. We've seen out of control wildfires in the Arctic this year. And we saw it last year too. But the ones this year have released more CO2 in the last 2 months than all of 2019 combined. We have acidified the entire ocean. The fish stocks are plummeting everywhere, and that's a major food source for humanity. In the Amazon, Indonesia, Malaysia, deforestation has increased significantly during the pandemic. And yet an Amazon expert has already predicted that it's past the tipping point. What does this mean for global weather patterns if the Amazon becomes a savanna? We can't allow that to happen. And right now, a whole bunch of new fires have started in the Amazon, and the vast majority are man-made. There are more fires now than there have been in the last 10 years. And it's all about clearing land for agriculture. And just this last week, Death Valley in America recorded the highest temperature on Earth, the highest temperature that's ever been recorded. And we saw a fire tornado in California. And we're only at the beginning of that fire season, and it's not looking good in California. Don't believe in the climate crisis? Fine. The petroleum industry is expected to triple plastic production by 2040. Triple. We're drowning in plastic already. And just this week a report came out that we've underestimated the amount of plastic that we've dumped in the Atlantic by 10 times. We've all seen birds and sea creatures dead on the beaches with stomach full of rubbish, right? But another report that just came out this week, and they've proven that humans have plastic now in every tissue in our body. And ladies, when we give birth today, our babies are born with plastic in their bodies. I mean, what the We have an opportunity to write a new future for Earth, to write a new future for all life on Earth. And I know what I've just shared, nobody wants to hear it. Well, not everybody wants to hear it, and so many people are not ready to face it. And I get it, I understand it. I wish it could be different too, but it's not. And so right now, what we have is a golden opportunity to build anew, better. And we have an opportunity to redress so many of the things that are wrong with humanity, how we live together and how we live in harmony with Earth. A great economic catastrophe was always a certainty when it came to the climate crisis. I've actually just been waiting for it to happen, and it was going to be of epic proportions. And it's because we had the chance to start turning this around slowly decades ago, and we didn't do it. And because we didn't do it then, we have to do it now, but we can't do it slowly. We have to do it quickly and dramatically. And of course, we were never going to do it voluntarily. We were never going to turn the economic engine off, right? It was too good. Everyone was doing well. We were flourishing until we weren't. And that's what we were always going to face, a catastrophe of epic proportions. And that's why I'm really passionate about this, because the pandemic has stopped us in our tracks. And I know it's incredibly painful for so many people, including people in my community. It's so painful. But we needed to be stopped in our tracks so that we could wake up and rebuild our world in alignment with the Great Mother. That is what we need to do right now. We're not, and we should not, go back to what we left behind at the beginning of 2020. Because if we do, we will be in a constant state of crisis, whether it's unleashing another pandemic on humanity or some other climate catastrophe that will affect millions, if not billions, of people. So we do need to rethink everything. And I want to do that for my kids. I want to do it for your kids. I want to do it for all children on this earth. And I just think if we can get it right, if we can be brave and gutsy, what a legacy. That's what a legacy will be. Come and join me. It's time to take some action, and one of the best actions you can take is to be informed. So I try and make that as easy as possible for everyone. Just go to my website, andreatedwards.com, or follow my social media pages. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, on Andrea T. Edwards. I'm in other places too, but they're the key ones for me professionally. Just go and connect, see what I share. I'm doing a weekly curation of the information that I'm reading, which talks about all of these different issues. So number one, we've all got to get informed. And the other thing is much more immediate, and you're going to have to act quick. It's happening almost a week today. Come and join me at the Asia Professional Speakers Convention, where we're planning to write the future. Now, of course, this convention is not about the climate crisis, but I really want to encourage everyone that every discussion you're having, every business decision you're making, as well as what you're listening to, and at this event we've got amazing professional speakers as well as top business leaders in the world, layer it through the lens of the climate crisis and ask, how can we come back stronger from this crisis that we're in now with the pandemic? How can we come back stronger? But how can we build a world where we can be in alignment with the Great Mother? That's That's what we're looking for. So come and join the convention. It's going to be an amazing 5 days. It's digital, of course. I've been part of the volunteer team that brought it together. It's one of the most compelling agendas I've ever seen. And let's come together and write the future, but always layering it with the lens of how can we build a world that is better for all life on Earth, but also how can we redress so many of the social issues that we've got in our societies all around the world and just fix what we got wrong. We got so much wrong. Asia Professional Speakers Convention kicks off 31st of August through to the 4th of September. It's going to be brilliant. I'll see you there.